Hey guys, it's Mel Anderson here. Thanks for watching my channel. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. And in this video, I'm going to show you how I did my 2018 New Year's Eve total glam look. First, I'm just priming my face with the L'Oreal Lumi Glow Lotion in medium. And then I'm going to put on the primer, the Too Faced Primed in Peachy Cooling Matte Primer. And here I'm having like major breakouts, of course, the day before New Year's Day. I wanted to spot conceal, so I'm using the Better Skin Concealer and just spot concealing my major breakouts. And we're going to do the eyes first, since they're going to be pretty glam. And I am priming my eyelids with the Too Faced Eye Insurance eyelid primer. You can use any eyelid primer you want. Then I'm just going to take Tarte Shape Tape Concealer and put this all over the lid so we have a nice clean base to start out with. So no redness or veins are peeking through our awesome eyeshadow look. And for this look, I'm going to use tape so we have a nice, precise eyeshadow shape. I tried to go from the outer corner of my eye to the end of my eyebrow. They're not going to be perfect, but when you put on false eyelashes, everything comes together. For the eye look, we're going to use the Lorac Mega 3 Pro eyeshadow palette. I love this palette. For our crease shade, we are going to go in with Pecan. I don't know. It's this beautiful, cool tone light brown, and this is going to be our transition shade and crease shade. You're just going to buff that all over the lid with a fluffy brush. This palette's so awesome. I'm glad I dipped back into it because it was just sitting in my makeup collection and I forgot how much I love this palette. It has a lot of unique colors that you don't see, and it's just so different than most palettes, and you get a lot of shades and they blend so beautifully. I would say it's more of a cool toned palette. Lorac makes some of my favorite eyeshadow palettes. And you don't really hear too many people talk about them, so since we have the tape, you can really blend on that outer edge as much as you want, because the tape's going to prevent it from sliding through. The next color we're going to go in with is Dusty Mauve, and I'm using this on a more denser but still fluffy, smaller blending brush. That way we can get more precise in the outer corner V of the eye and on that crease line. Using that same brush, I'm going to mix Violet Gray and Eggplant, and I'm going to deepen the outer corner. These mauve colors in this palette are so amazing. I love them on blue and green eyes. They're just so beautiful and they blended like a dream. Next, I'm going to take that Tarte Shape Tape Concealer and we're going to put it on the eyelid, just on the inner third, and I'm going to drag it into the middle just a little, just to give a nice base for our liquid eyeshadow. You can be as messy as you want because the liquid eyeshadow I'm going to use is really pigmented, and once we blend and fix everything, it all comes together. So when I carve out my lid with the concealer, I use like a small, flat, dense brush so I can get really precise and just pat on the concealer. Next, we're going to take the Milani Hypnotic Lights Holographic Eye Topper in the shade 3, Beaming Light. On that same brush we used the concealer, I'm going to take some off the doe foot applicator so we can be more precise, and I'm going to put it right on where we put that concealer. These eye toppers are my all-time favorite for Milani. It was like a limited edition and they only came out with 5, but they are so beautiful. They last forever, they go on so nicely. There's no glitter fallout. The colors are so unique and I love them. I believe they are $10, but they're so worth it. This one's really cool because it looks like purple, but then when you look in a different direction, it looks blue. So it's super cool. And I thought it would be a nice glam for New Year's Eve. So here we're just putting one layer and then I'll let it dry. And then I will put on another layer later on. I'm just trying to fix that edge. And then with that smaller blending brush, we're taking the shade Violet Gray and just buffing that in so the edges are more blended. I'm going to do the same on the other side. And now I am putting a second layer of the eye topper on, but I'm going to focus more of the pigment on the inner part of the eye, because that's where we want, all the brightness. And then I'm just going to blend the edges again. So next I'm going to take a liquid felt tip eyeliner and I'm just going to do a winged eyeliner following that line of the shadow. So I took off the tape. So we can do the winged eyeliner. You can keep it on if that helps you. I'm really bad at winged eyeliner, so it takes me a while. I tried to get them as even and as close to the shadow line as I could. But the eyeliner I was using is by Ciate, London, but you can use any eyeliner. Next, we're going to put on false eyelashes. These are by Lashaholic, and I got them in my BoxyCharm. They're really glamorous, and I love them. Now we're going to go to the face. So for the foundation I'm using is the Too Faced Peach Perfect Comfort Matte Foundation, and I'm going to mix in the It Cosmetics CC Bronze Cream, 1 pump of each, and I'm also adding, for a little more coverage, the Makeup Revolution foundation in F7. Mixing this all together for a nice concoction because I want to look perfect for New Year's Eve. And just blending and stiffling that in with this It Cosmetics foundation brush. The shade of the Peach Perfect foundation I used was Warm Nude. So once I blend it all in with my brush, I kind of stamp with the brush and press it really into the skin. So it all sinks in nicely and it's all even. And then I even go over with my damp sponge just to make sure everything's blended and there's no lines and the product is evenly distributed. Next we're going to cream contour. I'm using the Makeup Revolution Pro Cream Contour Palette. And I'm going to mix, actually I'm just going to go in with this shade. and contour my cheeks. This is a nice cool tone, so it looks more like a shadow. So the reason I like to cream contour first before the concealer is that way if you accidentally go too heavy with cream contour, doing the concealer next will kind of soften it and even it out. So for our concealer, I'm going to use the Tarte Shape Tape. This is my traveling one. This is in the shade Light Neutral. And I'm just going to blend that in with the damp beauty sponge. This is my Real Technique sponge. I'm really loving it. And as you see, I'm going around the cream contour, but it will also soften the edges. And for my breakouts, I wanted a little more powder coverage over them, so I'm using this Bare Minerals Blemish Ready powder in the shade 6, Clearly Beige. I'm just dipping my sponge in that and pressing it over the breakouts just to control the breakouts throughout the night so they don't get worse. Next, to set our concealer, I'm using the Cover FX Translucent Setting Powder on my sponge and just pressing it in and melting it into the skin. I really like this powder because it's finely milled and it's talc free and does not irritate my eyes. And then to stay a little more matte throughout the night and total oil control, since I was going to be out for a really long time, I wanted to bake a little bit, so I'm taking the Coty Airspun powder, putting it on the areas that are going to get super oily. And I'm just going to let that sit, and now I'm going to bronze the face using the Benefit Hoola bronzer. This is my travel size. And I'm just bronzing my face, and it's okay if you dust away some of that powder. Make sure you get the neck, too, very important. And I'm using that same Hoola powder and just contouring my nose. I wanted a little more bronze, so I went in with the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. Just to add a little more bronze. Next for our blush, I'm using this Sonia Kashuk Beautifying Blush in the shade Flushed 51. It's a nice matte blush. Next, we're going to do the lower lash line. So I'm mixing Dusty Mauve and Violet Gray on that smaller blending brush and just buffing it into the lower lash line and connecting it to that wing. Just fixing my edges with the concealer. The foundation brush. Then I'm taking a eyeliner brush, a nice flat liner brush, and I'm taking the shade Eggplant and pressing that along the lash line and then blending it a little. For our inner highlight, we're going to use the shade Snow. This is a beautiful, bright white. I love this for the inner corner of our eyes. Really opens them up, makes you look nice and awake. Then I'm going to mix that same color Snow with Crepe. For a brow highlight, this just tones down the white and makes it more of a nude shade for our brow highlight. And here I'm just dusting away that baking powder. Next, I'm applying mascara so our natural lashes blend in with the false ones. This is the Benefit Roller Lash. And we're going to do highlight. I'm taking the Anastasia Beverly Hills Glow Kit and I'm mixing the colors Moonstone and Tourmaline for our highlight. And put that on our cheekbones and down the middle of our nose. And finally, I get to do my eyebrows. And here we go. The look is pretty much done. All we have left to do is spray our face and do the lips. So, to last all night, I'm using the Urban Decay All Nighter setting spray. And I went over it with the Morphe Continuous setting spray just because I wanted this look not to budge at all. For our lips, I'm going in Huda Beauty Liquid Matte in the shade Girlfriend. So this is the final look. Thank you guys so much for watching. This was really glam and I was really happy how it turned out. Super beautiful. Thanks for watching. Like I said, please give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed.